What is up, YouTube? My name's Isaiah Barlow, and today we're going to talk about how your boy took the meanest L in 2021/2020. So, for all those who don't know me, my name's Isaiah Barlow. I'm a videographer by trade, as well as a real estate investor by like other day, and Pokemon trader by like other day. So, if you guys like what I talk about on this channel, which is just personal finances to maybe alternate investments and things of that nature, just life, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell notifications for all my new videos, and hit that like button for your boy. It helps the channel grow, for real. I appreciate you guys for doing that. Let's go ahead and have a little story time. It's a little sad story about how I lost $1,200. So let's go to the beginning of the crime scene. So your boy was actually just getting into sneaker investments maybe about like a year ago. I always have been a sneakerhead. I've never once not been a sneakerhead. I love shoes and clothes, but in terms of using it as a tool to grow wealth, I never really did that. I knew I could do that. I did it before in a sense, like on a smaller scale, but this time I was like, no, we're going for big ticket items. We're going for crazy releases. We're getting those crazy releases, and I'm then going to wait like several months and flip them. So this was all a great idea in speculation, but at the same time, and at the time, I had very little capital. Okay, because I had very little of it, I decided to do the great smart thing like any other guy would do, is open a credit card. Now, me thinking I was a smart guy, right? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this credit card, and then I'm going to invest in some like really good like investments, and then grow that money and just pay the credit card off with the money I made, because duh, that's just investing. So how did I get to spending $1,200? Basically what happens is this: I had like a $1,800 limit at the time, and I then saw in this Discord group that I was in, it was like an investing for like alternate investment Discord group or whatever, really big. It was cool, it was great and all, but the owner had this mystery box he was going to be selling. Now, if y'all know streetwear and stuff, a mystery box comes with like maybe like 5 or 6 different items that could be hype, that could be trash, or could be median, but you know, it's slated to get your money back. So this thing costs $1,200, and I was kind of like, oh sheesh, I should really do this, because it'd be a smart idea if I picked up this mystery box, bought it for $1,200, but then like flipped it for like $1,500, because then I'll make $300, and I didn't necessarily do much. All I did was buy and sold shoes and clothes, just like I always done. This is a great idea. I'm making money. So that was the plan, and I decided at that moment, swipe that credit card. So that before I got the mystery box, there was a couple of things that I already knew about the box before I had it. So I wasn't like I was just going into this completely blind. So the owner told me that there was a guaranteed Supreme the North Face item. Okay, guaranteed. So it's not like this is like no Supreme North Face. No, there was a guaranteed Supreme North Face item. And if y'all know that, that's super hype. He also guaranteed there was a pair of dead stock shoes in there. Okay, so I was also hyped about that, because I was thinking to myself, oh sheesh, the last mystery box he gave out, he put a Travis Scott dunk in there. So if he put a Travis Scott dunk in the last one, what is stopping him from putting a dead stock Travis Scott dunk in this one? Especially when he said the box is worth more than what you pay for it. So I'm like, okay, maybe let's just go ahead and say, you know, a shoe that's like maybe, you know, $500 maybe, you know, in terms of resale. Maybe it's worth $300 in terms of retail, but resale is $500. So there we go. He also said there was some Pokemon cards in there from Evolutions, which is a $16 a pack sell, which is good. But at the same time, I was like, not really banking on that. I'll just keep that for myself. And he had something else dead stock from Supreme. And there's a couple other miscellaneous items in there too, but whatever, cool. So I wait about a week, and then the package comes in. I'm so excited. I'm like excited. I run downstairs. It's a big box. So first issue was the Supreme the North Face item. This came out in last season. So it was the sleeping bag, which was historically the worst freaking item in that Supreme North Face collaboration. Like, god awful, horrible. So that was the first item. I was like, oh my gosh, he gave me a freaking sleeping bag. But there's some more items in there, so I was like, let me just, you know, keep my optimism up. There's other things in here, let me just see what it is, right? So then I get to the shoes that are dead stock, right? So Halloween had just passed, and he gave me the daggum Halloween skeleton freaking, what are those things called, Air Force Ones. Oh god, I knew I was going downhill at this point. So those Air Force Ones retailed at like I think 100 or maybe like 150, and they were like reselling for like 180, 190, maybe like 195 on a good day. So I'm not making that much profit off that shoe at all. So I was like, oh crap, here we go, right? So that's already losing money again. Maybe I'll just tally it up like right here or something like that. So now I'm at like a very big disadvantage. I think the sleeping bag was like maybe $200 and it was only going for like 180 in terms of StockX. And then this shoe was like maybe like 150 maybe. And then it was only going for like, 180, 190. Okay. So I'm like devastated. I'm like, oh crap, but it's not over. Maybe I can make something work with this. So the other item that was big in there was this Supreme, and I can't remember the name of the artist, but I'll try to find the image or something. It was this jacket that I was not going to keep, but it was dead stock, and it was selling decently on Grailed. So I was like, okay, maybe I can make a good $50 on this, but I'll tell you why I messed up on that in a little bit. And then the rest of the items in the box, it was like a player Pokemon cards that I opened myself, so I'll say minus 16 there too. As well as, I think there was like 2 Supreme hats in there that I ended up selling to. Both of them probably worth about $60 each. $40 retail probably. And then I'm trying to think of anything else that was in the box. I think he threw in some of his own merchandise because the owner has his own brand. So he gave me this crappy shirt that I didn't want. So at this point, I'm like, well, I'm kind of losing a lot of money, but maybe I can do this. Maybe I can sell the sleeping bag for a decent price. Maybe I can, move that jacket for a good price, right? So I decided to start putting stuff up on eBay like the next day. I was like, I got to put it up on eBay. I got to put it on StockX. I got to put it up on Grailed, right? So the first thing to move was the jacket that I told you about. And it actually sells for a decent price. It ends up going for like $410 on Grailed. And I'm like super excited, right? And I'm thinking, okay, this is great. Just move that for $400. I think it retailed at like basically $400, but $350 or so. Hey, it works out for me. I'm okay with this, right? So I thought it was okay until I realized that Grailed has the worst fees of all freaking time. Yeah, so Grailed has a lot of fees that are kind of like after the sale or during the sale that basically cuts into like maybe like, I don't know, like a fourth of your profits, or like not even a fourth. It's more like an eighth. But that eighth hurts. You're like, good gracious, that's an eighth of my daggone profit. So $50 was gone, basically leaving the entire like jacket at like retail price. Minus the $10 for Grailed. That was for shipping. So right now I'm like in the path of breaking even, but whatever. Maybe I can keep going, right? So the next thing to sell was the dead stock shoes. Those skeleton type whatever Air Forces that were horrible. So they sell for like $190, maybe. Actually, take it back. I think it's like $175. And I'm like, oh, I'm really not doing well right now. I'm barely scratching the surface in terms of how much money I'm trying to actually make back. To be honest with you, I'm pretty much have lost money already. So I'm really irritated about that, but I'm like, no big deal. Just keep going forward, Isaiah. Have like faith and persistence. Maybe you can get out of this hole. Because mind you, I am $1,200 in the hole with no job. So eventually I sold those 2 hats for like a decent price. I think I sold them for like $50 and $60. Wasn't crazy, but it was enough to make it, like for me to stretch a little bit better and get rid of some of my debt, right? So I'm like, all right, that's not bad. Got about $100 there. What else can I work with, right? So mind you, I'm not going to move that stupid t-shirt this dude gave me. However, eventually I was able to move that sleeping bag for like $70 under retail. Minus, and not to include this, but minus my shipping that I had to pay sometimes to the people. So that cuts into my profit half the freaking time. So I really lost probably about $10 each for all 4 of these, with the exception of maybe StockX, particularly because StockX pays for your shipping. But even then, they cut into your profits. Now I tell the story to say what I should have done. Now, when I did all this stuff and all these investments, whatever, what I should have done, and if you guys watched my last video, I should have just done my research. If I had taken like maybe just 10 minutes to do my research, I probably would have known that mystery boxes on most occasions usually are a strikeout. It's very hard to get a mystery box. It's not like an ETF in terms of stocks, because at least with the ETF, you know what's in that daggone basket of stocks. Like it's Apple, Facebook, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's tracking. But in this situation, that's not what I was getting. I'm getting a literal mystery box of things that I have zero clue what's in there, and just really, really bad investment. Now, in terms of having a bad investment, how do you recover? I kind of took a big old L here, but at the same time, how did I recover? Basically, what I did was I found another source of income that I could have to make sure I paid off my credit card debt on a timely manner. I made sure I budgeted correctly for that next time, as I've talked to you guys about budgeting before. And I made sure I just sat down with myself and told myself, just don't ever do that again. I can still sneaker invest, but in terms of like a mystery box, not that good. Unless I know what's in there, or at least know one item, shouldn't really do it. But point being is every loss is a learning lesson, and you should take every loss you have with a grain of salt, y'all. Don't be sad. Don't be discouraged about it. Laugh about it, because it's funny now. At the time, it wasn't that funny, but it's funny now. But laugh about it and just say to yourself, like, it's okay. Like, you took an L. How are you going to recover from it, and how are you going to do better the next time? Anyways, you guys, that's my video for today, how I lost $1,200, y'all. If you guys also want to share your experience of maybe taking a big old L, maybe you don't want to share it, whatever, leave that in the comment section, y'all. I would love to laugh and joke with you guys if you ever did or ever been through something like I had before. Even like a friend of mine actually from that same like Discord group, he bought the Supreme like fine China piece. I'm not sure if y'all remember that. I'll leave like a picture here. And that thing came out for like, I think 3,500 maybe, or like maybe like 2,500, however much it was in the grands. And it was only 150 made, and my boy took a mean hit because that thing did not sell out. He just had that fine China piece for like 2,500, 3,000, whatever much it was, and he was just sitting on it. He couldn't do much about it. It was one of the worst investments I heard. And so the point I'm getting at is, y'all, L's happen to everybody, whether it be in stocks and options or be in shoes and clothes and trading cards. It happens. But when it happens, how you address it, how your attitude is really making the difference in terms of how you come out of that. So that's just my little antidote for you guys. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button for your boy. It helps out that channel. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.